President Trump taking off from Canada after meeting with America's allies. Tonight, he's on his way to meet with one of our country's most dangerous enemies. The president focused now squarely on the upcoming Singapore summit with North Korea's leader, but his day began with plenty of controversy at the G7 summit. On his way to make history, President Trump departing the G7 summit in Canada, heading to Singapore to meet with North Korea's leader. Before leaving, addressing the upcoming sit-down.
In my heart, we're going to be carrying the hearts of millions of people from all over the world. We have to get denuclearization.
In Singapore, U.S. officials have established a contingency plan for a potential second day of discussions on denuclearization between the president and Kim Jong-un, depending on how their first meeting goes.
It's a one-time shot, and I think it's going to work out very well. How long will it take to figure out whether or not they're serious? I said maybe in the first minute.
Before leaving Canada, the commander-in-chief seemingly engaged in confrontational negotiations. German Chancellor Angela Merkel speaking with Mr. Trump following his decision to impose taxes on steel and aluminum imported into the U.S. from Mexico, Canada, and the European Union.
It would be with regret, but it would be with absolute certainty and firmness that we move forward with retaliatory measures on July 1st.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau addressing the issue after the president left, promising retaliatory measures.
But it is something that we absolutely will do, because Canadians were polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
This prompting President Trump to take drastic action aboard Air Force One, tweeting, based on Justin's false statements at his news conference and the fact that Canada is charging massive tariffs to our U.S. farmers, workers, and companies, I have instructed our U.S. reps not to endorse the communique as we look at tariffs on automobiles flooding the U.S. market. That communique was a generally positive joint statement on every country's position on trade matters while acknowledging tensions with the U.S. Mr. Trump continuing, PM Justin Trudeau of Canada acted so meek and mild during our G7 meetings, only to give a news conference after I left saying that U.S. tariffs were kind of insulting and he will not be pushed around. Very dishonest and weak. Our tariffs are in response to his of 270% on dairy. This even after the president claimed he was on good terms with U.S. allies.
I would say the relationship is a 10. And I don't blame them. I blame, as I said, I blame our past leaders for allowing this to happen.
Mr. Trump also doubling down on his call for Russia to be readmitted to the G7 group, blaming former President Barack Obama for Russia's attack on Ukraine and annexation of Crimea that led to the country getting kicked out.
But Crimea was let go during the Obama administration. And, you know, Obama can say all he wants, but he allowed Russia to take Crimea.